Hello, everybody. Welcome to Very Connected. And I have a special guest today. One of the dearest, most beautiful people
Oh,
who inspires me, has just much joy in her heart, and has so much love for this community, is always trying to bring forth community in many ways and many things that she does. Jojo, say hi.
hi, everybody. Thank you so much for that introduction, Brenda. That was too kind. You are too kind. You're so amazing. Thank you. Hi,
Jojo,
everybody.
I don't even know when we first met. I want to kind of go back. Like, I feel
Okay.
like that we've both been at a lot of different events
Yeah.
together. I can't even count them now, but help me remember.
Yeah. So the first time we met was at the Orlando Bariatric Society retreat. What, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Was it 3 years ago? Was it almost 3 years ago? And then we met
Right.
again. Yeah, and then we met again in New Orleans at the Losers Ball. And
Yes.
then yeah, and then at the cruise. And then that's when we really started
Okay.
talking. And then up to recently, I feel like I'm missing something though. I feel like
Well, maybe we were at a couple bariatric society events together. It's possible,
yeah, yeah.
maybe.
I'm like,
But yeah, so that New Orleans,
mm-hmm.
and then I'm trying to think where else. Oh, the Losers Ball. So
Yeah, and the
yes,
Losers Ball. And that was
yes.
fun. That was fun. New Orleans it was great time. It was a good time. It was a good time.
And you bring so much to the community because I got to try when we were on the notorious bariatric cruise together. Jojo, you were one of the sponsors, and you brought anybody that came to
Mhm.
that event. You brought some of your products, and that was my first introduction to bariatric skin and hair. And that's actually we're going to be talking about like that, but we're going to be talking about hair and skin too
Mhm.
today during our presentation. You know, a lot of times after bariatric surgery, people have a little struggle point with skin elasticity, with their hair, losing hair and um, keeping it beautiful and full. So we're going to definitely be having some conversations about that. And I'm going to kind of like turn things over for just a second and mute myself because I'm going to log on to our Facebook where we're live as well. And I want to make sure and say hello, everybody there. Whoever's joining us live, whether it be on Zoom webinar or on Facebook, please say hello. Let us know where you're from. Let us know what community you're joining from. If there's a specific community, just say hello. And so at that, Jojo, tell us about yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone again. My name is Jojo B, and I am 2 years post-op gastric sleeve. Down 80 something, give or take, the holidays, the little regain. So my experience with bariatric surgery was that 2 weeks after bariatric surgery, I started experiencing severe dry, itchy skin. So for me, before bariatric surgery, I had zero issues with my skin. My skin was always, and no issues. So it was almost as if I was starting to develop eczema. And so it was like itchy on my neck, in between my elbows, just dry patches of skin. And so I would go to the grocery stores, Walmart, Walgreens, and oh, I see somebody from Florida. Hi. Okay, Central Florida. This is great. I would go to all of these stores, and none of the products worked. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to start using organic products. So then I would proceed to buy organic products. And that's when I realized that just because a product says it's organic doesn't necessarily mean it's organic. Because I read the labels. So my aunt, who has years and years history in essential oils, I called her and we created a recipe for the skin repair oil. And fast forward, I started losing my hair, same. Our skin is our largest organ in our body. And so I would use all of these hair care products and my hair would start falling out more chunks and clumps. So I had to start using organic products. And again, find out they're not organic. It's very hard to find natural products in these grocery stores because of the preservatives that they use. So I created my own hair care products. So that, and I mean, I then created a bottle for my friend at the time who was diagnosed with alopecia. And it helped grow her hair back. And then she told her coworkers about it. And then it just blew up And then that's what birthed bariatric hair and skin care. So it's for anyone going through hair loss, but I pay homage to my bariatric surgery because if it wasn't for bariatric surgery, I wouldn't have lost my hair. I wouldn't have created bariatric hair and skin care. So that's how bariatric skin care came about.
It's not only for people who've had weight loss surgery. You know, anybody can use it. I will tell you,
Mhm.
like for myself, even since my surgery that I had was 10 years ago, and at the time that I had surgery, probably hair loss hit me around 3 to 6 months, so right in there. And that's pretty normal for a lot of people who've had weight loss surgery. Is if you are going to experience it, usually it's not immediate. Usually it's a little bit of time lapse in there. And then for a lot of people, it's temporary. But having things like everybody's always looking for things that they can use that help keep like help with hair breakage, help with the dryness, help with all of those things. There's other things that can cause, I think the causes of hair loss can be, and that's why I'm saying it's not just for people who have weight loss surgery, because if
Right.
you undergo surgery, if you undergo
Mhm.
stress from your body, under emotional, mental stress can help cause it too. Medications. What are some of the other things
COVID.
that you found? COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. I definitely
COVID.
had that.
Yeah, it's just so interesting how it's any usually hormonal changes, stress can cause hair loss, So if you have low B levels, low iron, that can cause hair loss too as well. So with me, it's just like I tried everything, and usually it's like a cocktail of things, like different things. Like you want to make sure your blood work is up to date, right? You want to make sure that your vitamins, you're getting at like enough nutrients, and then make sure you're using products that don't irritate your scalp. So it's like a whole mixture of everything.
And somebody brought up protein here too. That's definitely something too. Protein can also add because your nutrition levels and things like that, the
Mhm.
things you're putting in your bodies. I want to say there's lots of people joining. I have Donna from, I guess it's Virginia, from Phyllis from Omaha, Nebraska. We have several people from Florida, which is where you're from, JoJo, right?
Yes, that's exciting. I can't see any
um,
comments, but I just see when people pop in, I guess, and it will kind of say,
See if
I
you
guess that's
can
a
press.
comment.
Oh, you're probably on your phone. It's probably a little harder.
Oh yeah.
We
Oh,
have
Christina, I see Christina.
we have Erica. She's a coordinator. Oh, Erica, that's awesome. Before I worked for ProCare, I was a coordinator for 8 years. So I gotcha, girl. I know what it's like there in your shoes. It's a lot. I'm so happy that you took the time to join us though. We have Debbie from Georgia, Rebecca from Texas, Donna. She says she's had lots of hair thinning. So hopefully some tips here. Latasha is from, oh, her surgery day is 12:30. That is coming up on a year anniversary. So it was from last year. That's a way to start a new year, right at the year point. We have Christina from Connecticut. We have Cedric from Columbia, Missouri. I'm from Missouri, so I love that Missouri vibe. Elizabeth from New York. So we have all kinds of people. And then we have from Facebook, we also have Stacy from Omaha. So welcome, welcome. Awesome. So keep going, Jojo. Let us know more about how. So you talked about, your start with
Mhm.
bariatric skin and hair. Let me ask you this. What would you consider, because you mentioned the word organic several
Yeah.
times. What does that mean to you? Like when you're looking for products, and why was that important to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it means to me in its most pure organic state. So meaning like, for an example, right after bariatric surgery, I would use like prior to bariatric surgery, I would use Bath and Body Works, Jergen lotions, and all that. And then after bariatric surgery, I developed a skin sensitivity. So it would be to where I would rub lotion on my arms, and then the chemicals were so strong, I can like almost taste it. Like not that I literally try to taste it, but it was so strong. So me organic is more the most natural ingredients as possible with as least amount of preservative. So my products, I use glycerin, which is it's an organic ingredient as a preservative. And so and jojoba, all of my oils are high grade essential oils. And it doesn't have any of those ingredients that cause to irritate my skin. So that's to me organic. And usually you can see in the chain stores, like usually they're stamped certified organic products. Those are the ones that you can almost trust, but every now and then there's some ingredients. It depends on your allergies and stuff that may cause your skin to irritate. So organic to me just means like, in its most natural state, without all of those toxic chemicals. I like my products like I like my relationship, non-toxic.
And I want to give a shout out to that because honestly, one of the most pure ingredients is glycerin. And I know my daughter, who also works with ProCare, she's not on the call today, but she's on a lot of our calls. I don't know if you've met her yet or not. Her name is Madison. She is 25 years old, and she has been using just plain glycerin without all the other stuff for like her eyelashes, her eyebrows, and her hair for about a little over a year and a half maybe. And she gets compliments all the time on her eyelashes because she actually puts it on her eyelashes. So I can't even imagine with the extra ingredients that you're putting in these products, what kind of amazing results. I want to hear about that. Like, tell me what you experienced when you first started playing around with these things.
Oh yeah. So thank God for my aunt. She has her history in essential oil. So like when I started making it, I was like, she would guide me through everything. And I'm like, okay, what do I put in this? Like how much do I put in it? And she's like, you gotta do it this way. It should be on Zoom calls and I'll be in the kitchen like cooking up some stuff. So I went through a lot of batches and everything. And then I finally got it to where I perfected it. Then I started using it. And the first thing that stuck out to me about the product was the scent. It just smelled so refreshing and it just smelled so healing. And I was just like, it just felt so good. And so I started applying it to my scalp, and within 11 days of consistent use, I started seeing my baby, like little baby hair start growing back because over here was just like gone. It was like my hairline was back there. Like it was gone. And I didn't really, I was so emotionally challenged, I guess, with like going through hair loss right after bariatric surgery, because here I am just getting surgery, trying to heal, trying to figure out, okay, what does my life look like now after bariatric surgery? I'm like, what am I going to eat? Am I getting enough water? Am I getting enough protein? So going through bariatric hair loss put me in a really, sad space in my life. So I was like, okay, I have to do something about it. I have to do something. Either I had two options: either cut my hair or I do something about it. So I decided to do something about it. So we're talking about the bariatric hair and skincare line. So it started with the hair growth oil. So when I started applying, I started seeing hair growth within 11 days of consistent use. And then shortly after, my best friend was diagnosed with alopecia, and I made her a bottle. Then I made her coworkers a bottle, and then it blossomed. And then the bariatric community, they're like, well, when are you gonna make a shampoo or a conditioner? So any product that I launch is usually because the community wants it. So now we have the protein hair mask, we have the biotin shampoo, and the biotin conditioner. And we're continuing to grow, taking in the feedback from the community and figuring out how we're going to move forward. But this journey it's been a journey. I've learned so much, and I mean, it's just being able to turn something that was so painful for me and so it was so difficult for me to deal with, to turn my lemon into lemonade, basically. So it's been great to be able to help people grow back their hair. I mean, I get so many reviews on the website. A lot of people show me pictures, a lot of review videos of people using the hair growth oil and the shampoo and the protein hair mask. And it's just been really rewarding, because knowing that my product is helping people with their self-confidence, it's really rewarding.
Well, and I personally, my hair means something to me. Like it is part of it's part of my, I guess, the image of what people first see when they come up to you. And to me, it's important. I mean, I know myself personally, I can resonate with a lot of what you're saying, and maybe people in this call. Let us know, guys, if you're on this call and you're struggling with hair issues, or if you struggled with this, let us know, and let us know what has helped you too. Because we want this to be about the things that's kind of helped you. And we have actually done an event like this before where we talked all about things with hair. And so as JoJo goes through, I'll kind of like add your tips because we want to know as much as we can about all of this. Let's see here. I just put, so JoJo does have a skincare line, yes, and hair care line. And I just put the link in the comments on both Facebook here and Zoom so that people could kind of check that out. But let's kind of move forward too. I want to know also about I want to know a little bit about how you went about creating the product. You kind of talked a little bit about it, but I'm kind of curious, like the type of product, the type of things that are in what you're creating and why you chose those for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a great question, Brenda. So, with one of the main ingredients in the hair oil is rosemary essential oil. And rosemary essential oil has been clinically proven to grow hair back. So that's the main ingredient we use in the oil. And we also have jojoba oil as a carrier oil. And we have frankincense, which helps with like inflammation of the scalp. And then we have lavender oil, bergamot, lemongrass, lavender oil, jojoba oil, frankincense. I said bergamot, rosemary essential oil. Yeah, so it's like a cocktail of all of these oils, and they all have healing properties for your scalp, your skin, and so all of those ingredients together just really just worked for me. And so I'm like, my intention was just making this product for me. I'm like, and it worked for me. So I'm like, okay, great. And so my best friend, when she was diagnosed, I was like, okay, I'll make you a bottle. And it just blew up. So I was just trying to I'm like, either I do something, I need to find something for my hair, or I'm going to have to cut it. And so once I was able to help one person, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I'll help someone else. And then I'll help someone else. So that's how it grew. But yeah, the ingredients are just, the main ingredient for the hair oil is rosemary essential oil.
And I've told you before my background. So I am a true believer in things that are pure and things that are natural that can help our bodies. As JoJo knows, I have a certification in something called Healing Touch, which is like energy medicine. And so of course, this kind of goes right along with that because I feel like there are certain characteristics of essential oils. Sometimes people use, when we're talking about the energy medicine category, we're talking about essential oils, we're talking about, I don't know, some people use stones, some people use like things from the earth. Some people use, I'm trying to think of all the different sound therapy, music therapy, there's all different kinds of things. And what I think happens is these things that we put either next to our skin or on our skin, whether we inhale them, whether we put them on like touch them or put them on, our bodies, what happens is our body starts attuning to the energy of these things. Not only can these oils help with, hair and skin, but also just help balance our body because we're balancing our body towards a natural thing. Is there anything you wanted to say about that?
Yeah, so I don't know. I've gotten feedback from people that say so if you have medium to high porosity hair, which is if your hair tends to be on the oily side, I always recommend using the hair growth oil at night. So you'll part your hair and then your scalp, take the dropper and drop a few scalps and rub it in. So the people who've done that, grease their scalp. Back in the day, I used to grease my scalp, but oil your scalp. They told me that they sleep better at night. It's just super relaxing for them. So it's like putting the hair growth oil on your hair for your hair actually help you sleep. Like it was just crazy. But yeah, like it's all the healing properties the ingredients have. And I literally bathe myself in our skin repair oil. Like after I shower, I just apply it all. It's part of my self-care routine. It's just such an amazing, I don't know how to put it. It's almost like I'm rubbing like an armor of gold on my skin, and it just makes me feel confident because our skin, again, is our largest organ in our body. So what we put on our skin, it absorbs, right? So it's like knowing that I'm putting something so natural and organic on my skin, it just makes me feel really, really confident. And so yeah, it's actually more than just skin repair and hair growth. It's wellness, So I love that. I love that about the oil, and that's why I have oils all over the house. I have like a little
There's
basket with my name on it.
you have it all. There is a ton of comments, so I'm going to go through some of these if that's okay. That okay? Okay. Donna says, I had thick curly hair had to cut short due to hair loss and some balding on my head. And one thing, like if you are experiencing hair loss in the meantime, some things that I found that's really helped me, definitely if you have shorter hair, it can kind of bounce up and look thicker. So cutting your hair can be a great little thing, like temporarily, until your hair grows back. Some other things like wearing a scarf in your hair, wearing your hair back. JoJo has her hair beautifully back today. I mean, there's lots of little things. Wearing a hat or wearing, I mean, sometimes people will actually wear like a wig or, for me, I have extensions. JoJo, do you have extensions in your hair?
It's my natural hair.
Okay. She has a lot of hair. If you saw the graphic that we put on for this event today, you would have seen her full hair. We'll bring up your Instagram here shortly because I want you to see, I want them to see how full your hair is.
Yeah.
Like some other things. Those are some other things. You have something to say too, I could see.
Oh, yeah, I know. I get so excited.
I
See, I have
know, I did
ADD,
too.
so sometimes I don't mean to interrupt. I just get excited. One thing I really love that I started incorporating too is like you can have a silk pillowcase. Some people do bonnets. Like my bonnets, they get up in the middle of the night and they walk away. They just go. I'm like, where'd it go? Like, so I like the silk pillowcases or the bonnets that have a string where you can tie it tight. That really helps protect your style. So that helps as well. Making sure when you comb your hair, you comb from the end to the root. That helps. And identifying, I wanted to come with a quick tip that I think everyone can do. So to find out what kind of porosity hair you have, there's like a cup and a water trick. So you have to first make sure your hair is freshly washed, and then you take a clear glass of water. You just take one little strand, and I know it sounds crazy because you're like trying to hold on to every strand you can have, but you pull a little strand of your hair and you put it in the cup of water. Now, if it floats, then you have low porosity hair. And if it sinks, then you have medium to high porosity hair. So that just means your hair is more on the greasy side, or oily side. So that means that you want to apply the oil treatments to your hair the night before you wash your hair. And low porosity hair means that you can absorb more oil in your hair, like me. Like I'll if I'm allowed, I will pour a whole bottle of that thing in my hair and it just sucks it up. Like it's like.
So
So
that's a great question. Yeah. So you're talking about any kind of oils that you put in your hair, including your own products, but
Mhm.
you would put them in, like some people might just want to put them in the night before they wash. Other people, like me and you, who have more drier and that oil just whoop, like I can put oil
Yeah.
in every 5 minutes and my hair still like it gets it tamed down a little bit,
Yeah.
Otherwise my hair is like out to here. So either way is okay, depending on how much oil your hair can hold,
Yep.
correct?
Yeah.
So if
Absolutely.
it may mean that your hair can use more oil,
Yes.
correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
If it sinks, then it's a little heavier. Okay,
Yeah.
here's another comment. I believe it's Rebecca. Let me see. Yeah, Rebecca, I'm struggling with hair loss. I used to have thick hair and it's falling out in chunks. I'm hoping to find something I can help. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like what we're here talking about. Donna
Yeah.
says it's growing back, but not as thick before. Amanda says, this is my biggest concern. You know what? I need to bring my microphone closer. I just realized that. Ugh, sorry about that, guys. Because my video people will be yelling at me later. They don't yell at me. They just tell me, you need to be close to your microphone. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me better or not, but
Much better.
it picks up better. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ren says, experiencing thinning at the crown, looking for tips. So if they're thinning at the crown,
Mhm.
um, that would be like this area here,
Mhm.
correct? Do you think it comes differently for different people?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. It's differently for everyone. I mean, some people start experiencing hair loss in the back. It just really depends. And somebody mentioned that the other day. It just really depends. Like for me, I used to wear my high buns a lot. So I switch up my buns. So you'll see me kind of have like a bun this way where I leave a little bit hair on the side in the back, or I'll part a middle in the middle, or I do a high bun. So it depends. If you do a lot of updos, the tension on your roots, your edges, it'll start thinning. First, it just really depends. But like I said, you want to try different things. If you try the oil, you want to rub it, you have to rub it into that scalp and keep rubbing it, and just be mindful of not going to bed with wet hair. Going to bed with wet hair really, really affects your hair in negative ways. Silk pillowcases, uh, do hair treatments. Yeah, buns and hair up all the time does break hair. So what I try to do is I try to do my bun like either up or down or loose buns. And it's easy for me, so I try to make sure I use those open pins to pin in my bun so it's not tight and being pulled all the time. Just kind of let your hair, I say, breathe. It's good to let your hair breathe.
Well, so this brings up a question. The
Mhm.
washing at night, like hair washing at night. So that has been my thing because like if I do that, I want to know why that's not the best thing to do because if I do that, I can kind of put my hair back or up and it allows it to dry more naturally as opposed to blow drying it because blow drying can dry your hair out too and cause heat
Mhm.
damage. So why is it suggested like going to bed wet? Not.
Well, yeah, because when you blow dry your hair, you don't have to use the high heat. Because I've noticed that before when I used to use a lot, my hair would break off when I used the high heat. But for me and my type of hair, I can't go to bed with wet hair because in the morning, it's like it becomes like really, it's almost like overwatering a plant. It's almost like overwatering a plant. And so and I guess also it depends on your hair type too. So for me, when I sleep with wet hair, I get up and it's so dry, it's brittle, and I'm just like, oh.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's so weird. I'm like, so I mean, I don't recommend it for, I guess if you have like my type of hair, which is a little bit more coarse, and it just breaks off, every time. So, or if the only time it does, if I have to part it and like in two ponytails, yeah, it breaks off, it gets matted, it does its own thing.
It has a mind
It
of its
wakes up in the
own.
morning, yeah,
I
it's like
know
doing,
totally. It's curly too. Your hair's curly,
yes, my hair's
correct?
very curly. Yeah.
Yes. Lots of curl. Um,
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to say was recently I was so blessed. My daughter bought me a blow dryer and set for Christmas. So there's the Dyson and then there's the Shark. I
Mhm.
don't know if anybody here has ever heard of those. She bought me the Shark setup. So it includes kind of a blow dryer and some attachments. It's like to do your own blowouts, like basically. And then it includes like a wand. The blow dryer has a wand that you can actually curl your hair, a blow dryer curl,
Mhm.
which, oh my gosh, like it is amazing. It helps like with frizz and things like that. Have you ever tried those before? Anybody else ever tried those? I'd love to know.
Yeah, I have. I tried the blow dryer with the comb in it, and so I will like blow dry and comb it down on low heat, to just try and get it, yeah, n- dry as possible. But I like the one with the comb or like a hot comb. I just recently got it off of TikTok. TikTok made me buy it. It's a hot comb, so it's like you plug it in, and it's like literally a comb, and it's hot, and you just kind of comb your hair down. It's pretty cool. It's really hot, and it's cool.
And there's a couple questions about or comments regarding what we're talking about this hot minute. So I'm going to skip down to those just for a second. Donna says buns hair up all the time breaks her hair. So I do agree, like different kinds of buns, but I will say some buns will actually add my microphone kind of blocks. I'm going to move it here so that it's not zooming in and out. It can um it can add fullness to different parts of your hair to make it look fuller. So, like if you're wanting a different look, definitely like YouTube has thousands. My sister Connie is a hairdresser, and she's always telling me, just you just get on there on YouTube and look, you can find thousands of different kinds of video tutorials. Another person says when your hair is wet, the follicle is busting at the seams and it stays that way. It can stretch the follicle and make it weak. So maybe that's partly what you were kind of talking about. Donna
Yeah.
says leave-in conditioner with wet hair at night with a hair wrap or your hair in a towel can be helpful. Um, yeah. So those are kind of comments regarding and there's an Amazon product that Lisa is sharing in the comment section. I'm going to open that up here to kind of see what she's sharing. It looks like it is a one-step volumizer hot airbrush, and I'll share it on Facebook too because we got crowds there. And also, I'll share my new shark tool that, oh my God, I love that. So let me ask this. So like if you were doing styling, because I know Jojo, you do your hair in a lot of different styles. What would you recommend? How would you recommend styling? And we should bring in the men here. There might be some men like ideas for them too.
I mean, so it just depends. So for me, I have natural curly hair, and so I'm always on the run with my kids working, so I always do a bun. My go-to is a bun, but I do love a protective style, meaning that I love braids. I love braiding my hair. Now, I like the box braids for me because it's protective and I apply the oil directly to the scalp because they're box braids, for me. And so that or sometimes I'll get extensions put in and braid it underneath to help with the protective styles. So I do like the protective styles on my type of hair. But I mean, go to any go-to hairstyle that doesn't involve a lot of tension. So if you could wear your natural hair out, wear it out. Like my sister, she has pin straight hair. She's such beautiful long hair. And every time I see her, she's like, how should I wear my hair? I'm like, you already know, wear it out. Let it breathe and let those locks flow. So I do wear my hair out when I leave the salon, when I get a blowout, because then it's nice and fresh and it's washed and it's blow dried and it's flat ironed and everything, so it's straight. So I just let it out. But unfortunately, the humidity of Florida doesn't want me to be great. So I just and I'm just like, why? So I forced but I really, to answer your question, I really enjoy a loose, low bun. I think that's the safest way for me to my edges. It's like a loose, low bun in between, the what do you call it? Blowouts.
What do you think about, so Karen mentions adding collagen peptides powder unflavored to my coffee every day, and it has made a big difference in my hair, nails, and skin. And I know ProCare, the company that's sponsoring this event, does make collagen products. Let me know what your experience has been with collagen.
I hadn't tried collagen products at all. I hadn't tried it. I mean, I have tried biotin. I hadn't tried collagen, but I've heard really good feedback about collagen. I know a lot of people who put that collagen powder.
So collagen, and I know we've talked, a few people here have been kind of chit-chatting back and forth about protein, about making sure you're getting enough protein,
Yes.
in your diet. So collagen is actually a form of protein, and there's different kinds of peptides. There's a dipeptide and a bipeptide. Depending on the type of peptide that you buy, it's the type of chain and how your body reacts to it. So there is a difference in that. After a while, at the end of this, we'll jump over to the ProCare site and I'll kind of show some different kinds of products I know that we have. But definitely that. Also biotin. You mentioned biotin. Biotin is one of those
Yeah.
products. It doesn't necessarily like prevent you from losing hair, but what it will do is strengthens your hair. So your hair, your nails, everything becomes much stronger so that you aren't losing your hair from breakage and that type of thing. Is there anything you want to add to that? Because I know you're probably pretty up on those type of products.
Yeah, I mean, with biotin, it makes my hair, the biotin, shampoo and conditioner has helped make my hair thicker. Like I feel like it's stronger. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, when I started seeing regrowth, it was growing back, but I don't feel like it was as thick as it is now. When I started incorporating the biotin shampoo, conditioner, and the protein hair mask together, it just gives it that shinier and thicker feeling. It's not as like brittle and weak. Since I started incorporating the biotin, so I do see the benefits of biotin for sure. And
And
then
I think
also
oh, go
internally,
ahead.
I'm sorry,
No,
internal
go
too,
ahead.
like the B vitamins, right? So if you know, you want to make sure your B vitamin levels are up to par, because that helps as well with your hair.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
So we have, so some of the recommendations are B vitamins, collagen, and we have the other, which is biotin.
Mhm.
Write these down. Okay, so here we have Nancy says, um, 3 months post-op and just had my hair done for grandson's wedding this weekend. Lots of hair, lost a little hair so far, but it was in bad shape. Very dry, split ends. Stylist said I had a lot of baby hairs growing. Bought a lot of hair products today to help keep it in my head. So
Awesome.
thankful to these events to help me through my journey. And I apologize,
Great.
my connection today. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Okay, I feel like my internet is a little unstable, so I apologize for the freezing. Um, what I'm going to say about that is, be patient, Nancy. Definitely do those things. Like if you can find really good hair products
Mhm.
while you're struggling, especially, there is something to be said about quality hair products and making sure that your hair is staying conditioned well definitely makes a difference, I would say.
Mhm.
Elizabeth says, I'm having revision 1220 and I've lost hair and still have hair loss every day. So I'm very interested in products that will stop or lessen the hair growth.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I highly recommend you guys trying the products and incorporate into your hair care. I think that like, after bariatric surgery, it's like it unlocks, although they're doing a procedure on our pouch, it directly affects our brain. And so like, it's incorporating hair care routine, self-care, hair care, skincare. So I highly recommend trying the products to incorporate into your hair wellness, and try it out, because people try different products. Some things work for some things work for others. But my thing is I have to use only organic products on my scalp and my skin. So definitely try it out and hopefully it helps.
Donna says she also uses oils, crystals, tuning forks. So she's right on there on the line with
Okay.
us. Phyllis says, went right up my alley. Went with all the natural beginning of 2023. And definitely. Jennifer says, scared to lose my hair after surgery. It grows slow anyways. Is there a way to prevent this? So let me say too, what would you say about how fast hair grows and what to expect and expectations regarding that?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how it depends. It's a plethora of reasons. So if you are experiencing hair loss because of lack of iron, lack of protein, lack of B vitamins, it can be until you increase your levels. It just really depends on your body. And guess what? Not everyone experiences hair loss. You may be one of God's favorites and not experience hair loss. So I don't want everyone to be terrified to think that they will experience hair loss, but not everyone experiences it, and everyone experiences it a little bit different. But I highly recommend that you use the products consistently and on a consistent basis, especially when it comes to hair oil. You take it into your scalp and you massage it and stimulate your scalp. You use pillowcases. All of those little tips, they help. Don't put too much tension on your hair. But for me, I started seeing instant results, like within 11 days of consistent use. I did not miss a day, and then I started seeing the little baby hairs coming. I'm like, yes. Some people it takes about 3-4 months. Some people it takes about 6 months to really see some results. But whatever you do, just give it some time, especially with your hair, and when you're using organic products, just give it some time and be consistent with the products you use. I always see results that way.
the consistency you're talking about does make a difference because guys, so we're talking about like how fast hair grows, and everybody's hair, as JoJo said, does grow different
Mhm.
amounts at different times. For me, my hair grows about, I'm gonna say maybe like a half inch about every 20 to 25 days. And the reason I know that is because of regrowth, because of coloring my my hair.
Oh
I
yeah,
like I do that very quickly now at
yeah.
about 20 days because go any further than that, I start seeing gray. And so I don't
Yeah.
like seeing gray. So I know how fast my own hair grows. So if you're thinking, over a year's time, if your hair grows about, let's say, a half inch every month,
Mhm.
it's gonna like over a year period of time, we're going to say maybe 6 inches. Now, some people, I have a niece and her hair is so long and so
Mhm.
full. Her hair grows I think a little faster than mine even. Some people's may
Mhm.
grow slower. My daughter, her hair has almost stays the same length. It grows. I mean, we know it grows because she gets highlights and things like that, but
Mhm.
it's not quite as fast. So, everybody's different. When your hair is growing back, you will see the little fuzzies like at the
Yeah.
hair, right? You were
Little
talking about
fuzzies.
that.
Mhm.
Yes. Somebody says buns and hair up all the time breaks hair. So yes, another thing too, a little pro tip is the type of fasteners that you're using in your hair, clips and things like that. So
Mhm.
rubber bands, if you use
Yeah.
something that's just an unprotected rubber band versus something like the little coils or the little pieces of fabric, they're like
Mhm.
hair ties that are fabric or like softer, I guess is the word for it. Those might be a little less to break your hair. Would you say anything about that?
Yeah, I actually can show you guys real quick the pins that I use that I love. That these are so good. These are these open pins. They're open and they're not like the ones that are too closed in. And I like to use them to secure my bun, and it's a low like tension stuff that's light, not too tight. Loose styles work really well with my hair. I see very very minimal breakage when I do my loose buns.
I'm paging up because we got more comments.
Okay. Keep them coming,
I
guys.
know.
You guys are so
Okay.
active. I love it. I
I
love it.
know they are. This is awesome. Okay. Jojo, what's your take on silicone versus no silicone and sulfates versus no sulfates?
Okay, absolutely no sulfates for me. That's a negatory. I mean, sulfates. I feel like my hair would get so mad at me if I do sulfate. They do have shampoos in the stores for sulfate-free shampoos. So I highly recommend getting sulfate-free shampoos because it's so toxic. It's so bad for your hair. It will strip your color. I mean, it strips anything from your hair. So that's a no for me. I always use sulfate-free products. Also with silicone, it can give you build up. You know what I mean? It can the con about build up silicone is it can get built up in your scalp. So just be careful when you're using silicone based products.
So sulfate guys, there are professional products that are sulfate free. Um,
Mhm.
Sulfates basically are there to help strip oil and dirt away from the hair, but they also strip away the natural oils. And so they
Yeah.
can leave you like a lot more dry. Um,
Mhm.
but there are products I use a lot of times I'll use a product. I've been using it now for some time. It's called Husk, which is just actually a Walmart product, but it's sulfate free. And I
Mhm.
can definitely tell difference. If by chance you do use any I'm going to say extensions in your hair,
Mhm.
it is recommended that you do a sulfate-free product. You should
Mhm.
not use any kind of sulfates in your hair. Now, silicone, I'm not as familiar with, but
Mhm.
um, Chris, Christine says here, I added collagen and bariatric hair and skin care products, and it's worked very well. My hair is long and healthier now. Using your
I love
products
to
that
hear
she's
that.
using.
Yeah, that is so good to hear. I love that. It's like music to my ears. Like just to know I think that's why I keep doing this because just to know how I felt, like I was sitting on the side of my bed and just devastated because I'm losing hair, and just to know I create a product that only grew my hair back, it's growing other people's hair back. It's just such a great feeling to me. It's music to my ears. So thank you for that feedback, Christina. It means so much to me. Thank you.
Charlene says, here's a question. So, or I'm sorry, let's start with Phyllis first. Phyllis says, I'm pre-op. Should I start using these things before?
You know what I say? I say you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So I think it's like, starting your routine now. Routine is so important. And you're in your pre-op. First of all, the fact that you're here with us and you're in your pre-op phase, you're going to do great. I love to hear when people are in their pre-op and they're involved in the community and, learning. I love to hear it. So you're going to do great. But yeah, I would highly recommend incorporating any routine now. So then when you go through your procedure, it's already, set up. So your hair care routine, your skin care routine, your physical activity routine, start incorporating that now. So that way, once you get your surgery, you're like, oh, I got this. When all else fails, humans go back to their routine, right? So I would say start it now.
Oh, Shar is on both Facebook and here. Hello, Shar. She says, she says dryness on my skin and hair post-op for sure was a major concern, but she uses JoJo B products, which is awesome. Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
So sweet. Donna says my blood work has been good to the surgery. So that's something to bring up because guys, get your blood work tested when the providers are recommending. A lot of times it'll be pre-op before you have surgery so you can have baselines. And then depending on your program, it can be as early as, 1 month or 3 months, depending on your program, 6 months, 12 months, yearly. Because if you have vitamin deficiencies, very much can be said with making sure that you're getting the appropriate stuff, supplementation, whether it's vitamins in your foods or vitamins supplements that you're taking. So only way to know that is really to make sure you're getting your blood work checked. Karen says PW. Oh, go ahead.
This is the most in my entire life I've gotten my blood done. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to like the vampire hunt, but I've gotten my blood work done so much in 1 year that I've ever gotten done, but I'm getting used to it. So it's like every now and then I'm like thinking, I'm like, okay, when's the last time I got my blood work done? So please, please, please make sure you guys are getting your blood work done because it says so much about what's happening. So if you're trying products in your hair and it's not working, it could be your levels are low, your protein, your iron levels. So I can't emphasize enough, and not even just your hair, like other reasons, other things, of course, your levels need to be okay. But if you start realizing everything you're doing is not working, I highly recommend one, switch to an organic product. Of course, try Bariatric Hair and Skin Care, but two, definitely make sure you're up to date on your blood work.
I am like looking through, there's 20, 23, 24 more comments I haven't gotten to, but we're getting close to time. So I'm going to kind of just page through them real quick. Is your products in stock right now? Because there's a question about that.
Yes.
Shampoos, conditioners, brands. Well, I know JoJo has product like we're going to here in just a second. We're going to switch over to your website. For me, what I've used is something from Walmart called Husk, but I've also used JoJo's products. Her oils is what I've been more familiar with on that. Is there any products over the counter at all that the sulfate free, the silicone free is what you're recommending?
Yes, definitely sulfate free products for sure. I actually use my own shampoo and or what is it called? I just remember the name of it. Yeah, it slipped my mind, but it's a natural. It's called the Castillo soap, but it's a natural soap that I use too as well. And I'll wash my hair with that. But yeah, I don't use the store bought shampoo anymore. So it's cool. It's a good liberating feeling. So, but sulfate free if you have to. Sulfate free.
Yes. Gina's saying she's talking about the vitamins: omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, vitamin C, zinc. Eggs are champions of hair. There are masks that you can use with eggs. Actually, I know when we've done this before, we've talked about that. Iron. Take your vitamins. Somebody else says, I'm just paging through these pretty quickly. Shea Moisture has some products somebody mentions. Okay, kind of going down. So Jojo, here I'm gonna like just jump on, and since we're kind of getting close to time, is it okay if I share some of your accounts so people can connect with you to reach
Yes,
out if they have questions and that type of thing? So I'm going to be
absolutely.
actually sharing my screen, and I see something in the Q&A, which we'll be jumping on here in just a second. Let me make sure I have my screen in a great place to share before I jump on. Sometimes I'll have I have like 20 tabs open right now because I was preparing for our call and I wanted to make sure I had a lot of different links. So here is our ProCare site. I'm going to actually jump on to, let's jump on to your Instagram first.
Okay.
And it's, I'm trying to remove some of these things. Elizabeth has raised her hand, which Elizabeth, give us just a second. Just put something in the chat if you have something that that we can help you with. We'd love to help you. So it's underscore Jojo on Instagram, and we're going to show them your TikTok. So this is a great way for them to connect, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It's underscore Jojo B on Instagram.
Okay. And we also, she'll have under here on her link tree, like if you look at her bio, we'll have that. We're also going to jump over to for her TikTok. And this
Thank
is,
you,
I don't
Martha.
have really a good TikTok account, so that's why I haven't followed you here. But look, we're already at the 99.9. A few of you guys
Yes.
jump on her, following her on TikTok. She's going to be over the 100,000 mark. Holy cow. Um,
My
gee
very
whiz.
family shows up for
Look
me.
at
Oh.
that. My gosh. It's something she says I'm grateful here. So you can see some of these pictures with her hair. Like look at that,
Yeah.
guys. She has a lot of hair. I mean, Jojo, you do. You have a lot of hair. Um, so we are also going to jump over to, I want to say too, Jojo has a really fun event coming up, and I actually have it pulled up. I'm going to pull up your website here. So it's Bariatric Hair and Skincare. You guys, I'll copy these links and I'll send them to you guys in the chat box here in just a hot second, whether you're on Facebook or you're on our Zoom webinar, or if you're on the replay. You can find it in the description if you're on the replay. So here is her site. Jojo, I'm gonna like pop on to some of your products here. So
Okay.
you actually have shampoo, conditioner, you have a kit, full hair care line. Is there anything? And then we have your oils. Oh, and
Yeah.
I like
And
the
some merch.
mug.
Listen, we gotta you look, I always joke around like there's two things you don't want to be. You don't want to be dehydrated or dry faced. You want to drink your water, and use your oils. And I always say drink your water and mind your business. Mind our business. So I got some merch on here.
Um, how about I also just say too, you got an event coming up. Let's jump onto
Yes,
that.
I'm
So this
so
is under
excited.
your shop. This is under shop, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is. So I'm obsessed with Bridgerton. I listen, I'm obsessed with it. And so I was in the middle of planning my birthday party, which is actually my birthday is December 30th. And Sarah and I from Berry Nation, we've been talking about for months doing like a local Central Florida meetup because we live in Florida, but our schedules didn't align. And so I'm like, okay, why don't we just do everything in one? So I'm like, we'll just do a bariatric Bridgerton luncheon. It's going to be so much fun, you guys. I've been working so hard behind the scenes to make this experience memorable for everyone, like a theme. And the attire is like anywhere from the spectrum. If you want to wear the huge poofy dress, if you just want to wear like a dress, flowy sunflower dress, it's fine. The event is in Lake Nona, Orlando, Florida area. So I know we have a lot of people from Florida at the Lake Nona Wave. So it's beautiful there. I mean, it's so gorgeous, the Haven Lounge. And I'm super excited. And we do have a keynote speaker, Dr. Stanford, who recently had a special on HBO talking about obesity, and she was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And so I really, really am excited about this because quite often, my 2 years of live streaming every morning. By the way, I go live every morning on my TikTok from 5:45 a.m. to 7 a.m. And we talk every morning, and I'm hearing stories, and quite often that, bariatric surgery is still stigmatized. most of my followers have like separate accounts that they just have for bariatric surgery, so their families don't know they had the procedure, right? And so my job has always been for the past 2 years is just to keep talking about bariatric surgery, to break the stigma surrounding bariatric surgery. So Dr. Stanford, she aligns directly with, she works close with the GO1P1 community. And so just to integrate, it's not like, oh, weight loss injections or weight loss surgery. Most of her successful clients go use both. And so that's something that's been, I feel like more people are more vocal about it, that after bariatric surgery, they indeed get weight loss shot injections to help. So this event just means so much to me for so many ways. I want everyone to just celebrate their wins and just have a good time and elegance and, you know, dress up. And I have some games played. We have an international DJ coming to DJ the event. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. We'll have a videographer and a photographer. So I'm just really excited about this event. And interesting enough, it was created for the Central Florida area, but most of our ticket sales are coming from people coming from Connecticut, Ohio, California, Texas. So everyone's coming from like everywhere. So it's super exciting.
Oh,
I'm so excited about
thank
it.
you for sharing about that. And Shar says, proud of you, friend. This event sounds amazing. I also want to just share too, you have a Facebook page, and we just created a new Facebook group, which I want to mention because we actually have the event created with the link. So you can get the link from JoJo's Instagram page, probably her TikTok. And then also, like, if you come over here to Facebook, I'm going to kind of jump onto Facebook page. Her Facebook group that she has a lot of interaction with is Berry Family. So we
Yeah.
have that pulled up, Berry Family. We also have ProCare's new one. It's called Berry Connected. So we have a page that's called Berry Connect and a group called Berry Connected. And guys, we just started this group. We have so much love. Like, we just started it at this last, like within the last week, we already have 286 people. So her event is actually, yes, her event is right here. It should be one of the very first events. Or if you pop onto, I'm gonna go up here, pop over to the side of the page. I just listed it here. We should have it popped up there somewhere. Ah, Seymour. It's probably under Seymour. Should be here somewhere. Maybe I have it on Berry Connect. I'll have to go back and look because I know I was adding it yesterday. Anyways, it's on either Berry Connect or Berry Connected. So we have it, and join us there as well. I'll be posting that link here in just a second. And Berry Family, I believe I have that link. Let me also just say, JoJo, before I kind of share some things about ProCare, is there any kind of closing thoughts that you'd like to have?
Yeah, well, Brenda, first, thank you so much. And ProCare, you guys have been amazing. Like Brenda said, we've met a couple of times, and I just really appreciate what you do for the community and how you're always showing up and what ProCare stands for. So thank you so much. Also, this is for anyone going through hair loss. I know how it feels, and I know how, you know, it's you're not alone. You're not alone, and you will get through it. And just don't give up and keep trying different products, preferably organic products. You know, I don't want your hair loss to either potentially prevent you from getting the procedure, or prevent you from being successful on your journey. So just know that you're not alone. There are products out there to help you. Just got to try different products and be consistent with it, preferably organic ones.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just about there. Jojo, I'm sharing this on Facebook too. So those people, I'm sharing all the links that we just mentioned. There's a lot of them, guys. But I got them all copy and pasted ahead of time so that I could just share them quickly. What I want to say too is I'm going to pop over for ProCare for a second here because I agree. I've been so blessed to be with a company that creates this support system, because JoJo, what you're creating in the community too is so wonderful. And I think the more we all can bring together and bridge together, like, part of the reason that we created it from a standpoint of a company is before I worked for ProCare, many of you know I was a bariatric coordinator. And what I saw is that the support, when patients have the support they need, what happens is they engage in the lifestyle that keeps them successful. And one of those things, like if you're engaging in those lifestyle things, you're going to take vitamins. You're going to stay happy in your journey, because community creates that. It just helps, like bridge, like learning from you today, Jojo, of all the different things that we can do to keep
Yeah.
ourselves healthy. It's just it's so important. I'm gonna before I jump on, I'm gonna make sure my screen is in the right place here. And I'm gonna share. Taking me a second here. Okay. So ProCare Health is our sponsor today. ProCareNow.com. If you're listening to the replay or you're listening only to audio, like on our podcast, and I want to kind of just jump on here. I'm going to just mention some of the products that we talked about today, as far as besides JoJo's products. If you guys are looking for bariatric multivitamins, ProCare got you there for, all those trace minerals, the vitamin, the magnesium, the zinc, the vitamin C, all of those things you can find in a bariatric multivitamin. If you're looking for, going to jump down to therapeutics here for just a second. And if you're looking for your B vitamins, we actually have a complex for that. We have a zinc, we have a MAG-D, which actually has several of the trace vitamins that we talked about, the vitamin C, the zinc, the magnesium. We do have three different biotin products. We have a 10,000 microgram and a 5,000 microgram. Really, it's about what most of your bariatric multivitamins, including our multivitamins, do have some biotin in, but if you're wanting to get a little extra, there's two categories, a 5,000 or a 10,000 microgram collection. The push that we have here are the dipeptide concentrates for collagen. We have a couple different of those. When we were talking about the collagen products, I am also looking for what else? Protein. We talked about protein. So under products, if you're looking for protein supplementation to help make sure you're getting enough in, help supplement your diet, especially early on. Our two newest products are this protein powder, our vanilla and chocolate. And then we also have something called Liquicell, which is a protein, but it has collagen in it as well. So that's kind of a fun little add-on. You've tried some of our stuff, Jojo, haven't you?
Yes, so I'm obsessed with the chocolate protein powder. Every morning, I know we're in different time zones, Brenda, but every morning it's so I think people are watching who are my lives. Y'all see me pull out my protein powder from ProCare Health.
Oh,
And I use it to make my morning frappuccino. So I'll make a base, I'll use a Core Power protein shake, then I'll take a scoop of the ProCare Health protein powder, the chocolate flavor, dump it in my base, mix it up, freeze it for 24 hours. And then in the morning, I'll pour in my coffee, run it through that Ninja Creamy, and that gets me straight every morning. So it's so funny. I talk about it all the time. I'm like, I'm telling you, this is good. This is good stuff. So yeah,
so how
Marissa's
do
like,
you get it to mix? Because sometimes the mixture of hot and or cold, it kind of clumps. So do you use like a little mixer?
oh, I use the cold coffee. I use the cold coffee brew. So it's like a iced coffee, like frappuccino. So I'll use the Starbucks macchiato coffee out the refrigerator, and then I'll run the creamy, and then it's just like ice cream. It's so delicious.
Oh,
It's so good. I'm telling you, I have to. Yeah, it's so good.
it's making my mouth water. We actually have guys coming up next month. We have Ninja Creamery. Actually, it'll be in February because I always work 2 months ahead, as JoJo knows. I'm like way ahead. I'm already
Yeah.
scheduling for May, I think May and June of next year because I have all kinds of wonderful people. I just want to talk to everybody. I
Yeah.
also want to just say, so for today's episode, like when you go to the ProCare Health website, procarenow.com, if you skip over to, so you have your products that we just talked about is one tab. Another is our Berry Connected. And I want to say this because if anybody is wanting to come back, listen to the replay, all you guys have to do is click on to any of the events. As soon as they've been live, If you click on, they'll be on demand. So JoJo's will be on demand until the end of the month, until 12/31. And then we'll be loading up all of the next month's videos on there. And so another way to connect is through our podcast, which you can listen to if you're listening, to a replay. Those are on like Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and then our YouTube channel, which if you're on our website, the link to our YouTube channel is on there. If you click up to that, guys, we have over 180 videos on there of all kinds of replays. JoJo's episode will be on there starting next Tuesday. So if you want to do that, want to be able to catch all of our replays and catch her replay to listen again, all you have to do is follow us on there. JoJo also has a YouTube channel as well. I'm like I was watching some of your little videos before we started. So you can actually subscribe to hers as well, right?
Yes.
She has all kinds of ways to connect. I mean, every way is on there that you can definitely imagine. I'm going to stop sharing. I have just a few more chats. Martha says, yes, she wants me to want to buy that Ninja. I agree. Like I've been wanting one of those. Maybe put it on your Christmas list, guys, right?
Mm-hmm. It's so good. It's like you're never gonna want to buy ice cream again. I'm telling you, like it's fresh. It's amazing. And anybody going through like a liquid diet phase, you will get more full running your protein shake through the creamy than the regular bottle of protein shake. So you can drink it. It won't take too long. But when you freeze it and eat it as an ice cream, you're more full that way. So it's pretty cool.
JoJo, did you answer this question about your products being in stock?
Oh yes, everything is in stock except for the shampoo. We have officially sold out of the shampoo, but we do have the protein hair mask, the hair growth oil, the skin repair oil, and the biotin conditioner. And all of that is available if you go on the website, www.bariatrichairandskincare.com.
Yes. What would you recommend? Let me ask you this. What would you recommend if you're a newbie and you want to start buying in slowly? What would be your first product you would recommend?
Oh, definitely the hair growth oil. Definitely recommend the hair growth oil because learning your hair, learning to see how much oil you need for your scalp. You want to get that done in the beginning and start incorporating that. Rosemary essential oil has been proven to grow hair back, and you start using that now. I highly recommend that.
And we also have, Shara says, I swear by the ProCare prenatal supplements during my bariatric pregnancy. For anybody who's going through pregnancy, and too, after you have a baby, sometimes hair loss comes in there too. I'm just gonna say, I have two children, and after delivering both of my children, and I guess it's the anesthesia and the stress. So definitely take care of your hair during that period of time. And ProCare does have a prenatal formula, which she says she uses for bariatric multivitamin. So little plug there, shameless plug. So I think that's everything we have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in with us. And JoJo, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You're a beautiful guest. Appreciate you. And there's much love going out. All these people who are listening to, thanking you as well. So guys, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week. If you decide you'd like to continue listening, we also have another live event tomorrow with Chef Healthy Henry. He's going to be bringing it with our holiday menu, and he has worked so hard on this, you guys. He has, I think it's about 5 or 6 different, actually more than that, recipes, Christmas related. So join us Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern time for Chef Healthy Henry. The link for that is under our ProCare Now website, and you can find the live event and the replay there as well. So thank you, everybody. And JoJo, thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day, guys. Bye-bye.